Yeah, well, I think these are decent numbers, and certainly for those of us who got used to the um, Donald Trump numbers, he was always, 40 something, and Biden seems to be, pretty much high 50s. Different polls showing slight variation, but generally a 3-to-2 ratio, 60-40, however you want to cut it. And I think that what I find interesting in this is, it's not exactly a honeymoon where Congress is, giving him everything he wants. Obviously, he's doing things by executive order. It doesn't look like with the Senate that's 50-50 that he's, even if he can corral his 50, it doesn't look at this point like overriding the filibuster is likely, and therefore he's going to have to find ways to, get compromised when he wants to go the legislative route. So I think these numbers are strong for public opinion standpoint, but doesn't mean that his unity, as he put it, is necessarily going to be between the Republicans and Democrats in Washington as much as he's trying to unify the nation more and put pressure on the legislature that way. I would say that, one thing, just looking at this historically, Gallup has looked at presidents and their initial numbers way back, going all the way back to Eisenhower. But if you go back to Ronald Reagan, his numbers were in the first poll in the 50s, low 50s, and that was the case for both Bushes and also for Bill Clinton. So the 50-something is not an unusual number, but it's a decent number. And certainly the two exceptions to the recent numbers have been Barack Obama, who was in the 60s initially, and Donald Trump, who was, shock, 45, which was sort of much his marker that he put down and didn't move much up or down from that. So when you look historically, Joe Biden is certainly in the mix in terms of what presidents typically have had in recent decades as an initial number. There's certain things that public opinion is really pressing on, and clearly handling the coronavirus is number one, the economy is number two, and obviously the two are connected. Interestingly, in your recent poll number, those are two numbers that he's doing very well in. Handling the coronavirus, his number was at 63, and handling the economy, his number's at 55 approval. Well, there's nothing like good numbers on critical issues to keep Congress and the so-called opposition party at bay. But having said that, it's not like he's got a filibuster-proof 60 senators on issues and moving like with the stimulus package and the like. So I think it's going to be tough going the whole way because what the dynamic is that the Republicans are clearly not in the mood to roll over and play dead. Donald Trump is still looming out there as being the dominant force within the Republican Party, which keeps a lot of Republicans, in place and not supporting the Biden initiatives. But what Donald Trump also does is he keeps the Democrats unified, because as long as he's a figure out there, the more progressive wing within the Democratic Party is likely to join with the more Biden folks and keeping that 50 senators unified, if not 50, at least 48 or 49. And it makes Chuck Schumer's job a lot easier. It makes Nancy Pelosi's job a lot easier as well. But there's no great coalition yet within Congress. There's no great legislative coalition to move his legislative agenda forward. And that's why we're seeing questions about, will the minimum wage be part of things? How big will the stimulus be? I mean, it's already being negotiated. He's not getting everything he wants out of the starting blocks. So he's already in sort of phase two. The honeymoon is more with public opinion than it is with folks in Congress.